Who are these guys? Why are we here? Long time no see.
It's been a while.
Been ages.
We're in a different place now. Yeah, so we're no longer in Montenegro. We're now in Antalya, Turkey. But we figured we'd catch you guys up on a little bit of what we forgot to film. Or
Yeah.
we not really forgot, but what we didn't film.
Basically, we took it easy. You know, we just decided to enjoy the experience rather than focus on filming, stuff like that. We took some videos anyways just for ourselves, but we're going to share it with you guys so you can see what we got up to
Yeah.
and everything. But we've been having a wonderful time.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start from leaving Montenegro.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
yeah, so we left Montenegro and we actually met up with my family in Istanbul. They're visiting there. And we've been with them for maybe a week and a half now, and we've still got a little bit left where we're all going to be traveling together. So yeah, we kind of just tried to live in the moment and not worry about like taking videos and stuff like that, especially because we're with family. But yeah, I guess we'll start with we went to Istanbul.
And super cool. Bit of a culture shock because it's so different from the places that we've been going to.
Yeah, we were both like hoping that Istanbul would be like pretty different from the Balkans, just because we had been traveling the Balkans for 3 months, so we were kind of looking for something new.
And I personally am loving it.
Yeah, it's
you
really
like it
cool.
too?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's such a contrast, but in such a fun way, and so it's like really refreshing to experience it. The people are the friendliest that we've ever met. They're so
Yeah.
helpful, so nice. In every way, like they always go above and beyond to help us out. If we have a simple question, then they will make sure that they see through it to the fullest. It's amazing. It's been wonderful.
yeah, the people have been super friendly. Even with our first kind of interaction with someone here in Turkey was in Istanbul at the vet, because we had to get a Turkish health certificate within the 24 hours that we were in Istanbul, so that we could fly to Antalya with Gizmo. And so we were like all stressed out and like hoping that we'd be able to get it done. And we like in the first vet we stopped at, they were like super calming and friendly, like all smiles and
Just
everything. So
super chill.
yeah,
super
really
chill.
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we found that's the case with like everybody here. Everyone's really laid back that we've interacted with, super friendly, easygoing. It's
Yeah.
nice.
And then in terms of culture shock, first of all, the food is amazing.
Yeah.
The food that we had in the Balkans was all right. It was primarily cured meats and baked goods with yogurt. And like Ryland's loved that the entire time.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
missing out on the barbecue. The barbecue, I think, was the best part of the Balkans. Really good food.
Personally, well-cooked barbecue is good, right? They did a good job on that, but they were severely lacking on the sauces.
Yeah,
nothing
they're
to
stinking
dip your
sauce.
dry meat in. That sounded wrong. Nothing to dip your barbecue in to give it like some,
Yeah.
some moisture. It was just like, so I found it would be too dry very frequently. But it was very good. But in my opinion, the food in Turkey is the best that we've had on our trip this year so far.
And lots of sauces, especially with like Turkish breakfast.
Plenty of
Which
sauces,
I
yeah.
don't even think we've had Turkish breakfast yet. We've been here for like 2 weeks, week and a half. So it'll be
Yeah, I guess not. We got to
on the
do that.
list. Maybe today. I don't know.
Yeah, plenty of sauces, plenty of spices. It's delicious. There's a huge variety.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So we're loving that.
Street food is really good.
Oh,
We
totally.
had some ice cream today. That was like the best ice cream I think I've ever had. I don't know. Maybe I was just really hungry. But yeah, like the food here has been really, really good.
Kicking butt, man. Kicking butt.
We also, in Istanbul, we had a really unique experience at a hammam, or like a Turkish bath,
Oh, God. Yeah.
on Mother's Day.
Within the first 5 minutes of reuniting with Ryland's family, we all
Saw each other naked,
basically
pretty much.
a Turkish bath, for those of you who are not initiated in this, is you get naked and then all you have is like a small towel around your waist, barely doing the job it's supposed to be doing. And you you hop into various saunas and hot rooms with big slabs of stone that you can lie down on to sweat. And boy, are you sweating in front of Ryland's family, naked. And then a guy will come. He'll summon you. He'll soap you up and then massage your naked body in front of Ryland's family.
So we had pretty different experiences. So just obviously we couldn't film this, so we'll just try and describe it. For my experience, the women and the men are separated, right? So the women all get female massager, bather people, and the males get male people.
Yeah, big fat hairy sweaty guys.
Yeah. So I'll start with my experience. So we were separated into males and females, and the female group was me, my mom, and some lady that we had never met, who was also like on doing the bath tour kind of thing. And so we were called in, and they asked for 2 females, and so we figured like since me and my mom are together, we'll go. In the room,
mistake.
Yeah. They had us both stripped down naked. We're both in the same room,
facing each other.
And 2 ladies in like literally lingerie, like lacy bras and underwear, like see-through bras and underwear, scrubbed us down and like massaged us, started pouring buckets of water all over us, washed our hair. It was pretty relaxing. If it weren't for the circumstances, I guess. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah, it's just awkward, and
I kept saying like it's a very fitting activity for Mother's Day, because the last time my mom and I were both naked together in the room was when she gave birth to me. So
it's just weird, man.
Yeah.
Weird. And the male experience was not too far off. Basically the same thing, but at least we got the luxury of doing it one at a time. However, where we were getting soaped up naked and massaged was in the hallway of the joint, where like people were walking by freely, like getting a full show.
Yeah, fully visible from where like the female waiting room was. Like the female waiting room was almost facing the hallway where the men were getting scrubbed down naked.
Yeah.
So
just good Lord.
Yeah. Not what we're used to.
Once in a lifetime experience that we'll never forget, but it is going to be once in a lifetime. And we're not doing that again.
Yeah. So at least with family.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, I mean, very memorable. And the massage itself was really nice. Like all of our skin felt really soft afterwards.
Yeah.
And it was like really
It was fully exfoliating. Like they had this kind of like steel wool brush almost, and they just scrub you down and rip all your skin off. And so they did that.
You could see the dead skin coming off.
They ripped all my skin off. And so yeah, anyone would feel fresh with no skin. So I guess that's what happened to me.
But yeah, that's about the last thing we did in Istanbul, and then don't
forget, we also visited the Grand Bazaar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul is, what is it, like the world's biggest street market or something?
I don't know.
Not sure, but we have some footage we can share with you. It is really cool. It's enormous, multiple floors as well. And it's just super, super, super dense markets, all stacked on top of each other and next to each other and around each other. And it goes on for blocks and blocks and blocks in every single direction.
Yep.
And it's just like, and you have, it's cool too, it's a social experience as well, because you'll get all these people who are desperate to make a sale, and they see white people and they're like, I'm going to overcharge this guy. And so they try and pull you into their store. They try offering you free stuff to try and like trick you into eating it or whatever, or taking it, and then they try to charge you for it. And it's just like, you know, you're walking through it and you're shuffling through crowds and you're like, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. And then they're calling you poor if you don't if you don't buy. This
one guy offered us to buy like a 6-pack of socks, and we're like, no thanks, we're good. And he's like, oh, you're poor? Poor man, poor woman.
Yeah.
So
trying to shame you into buying it so you don't feel poor. Dude,
but I don't think that's everybody. Like some can be pushy, yes,
yeah.
But I think most are pretty respectful.
Hey, if I live poor, then I get rich because you're saving money. So no,
Yeah.
thank you. I don't want your socks, buddy. But yeah, just super interesting. Never felt anything like that before. It felt like for people who live in big cities in Canada, if you have Chinatown or something like that, imagine that, but Turkish. A lot more dense and like 100 times bigger.
Yeah, you can't really compare it to like a Chinatown, like a little enclave in a city, because it's just
But you can go there.
Really, really big.
You can go there, and they have a market for everything. Like they sell everything there. It's not just clothes and food. It's like, you know, you can get furniture. You can get
Rugs,
yeah,
dinnerware.
lots of rugs, dinnerware. You can get. There's probably pharmacies and stuff like that as well. It's
all kinds, like food.
all kinds.
Lots of food.
Of course, yeah.
But
Very
yeah.
cool.
And then so after Istanbul, we headed to Antalya, where we are now. And we spent a few days here with my family, mostly just kind of relaxing and, you know, slowly sightseeing. We went on a tour. That was nice. We went through the old town, and we're staying just outside of Hadrian's Gate, which that was pretty interesting, actually.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
So, this town that we're in right now, which you'll see videos of as well, was initially founded and constructed during the ancient Roman era. And during that time, the ancient Romans built a wall around the city. And the city walls had an entrance called Hadrian's Gate for Emperor Hadrian something.
I don't remember that part.
It's all right, but like they made a gate called Hadrian's Gate. It's beautiful. It's got all these pillars and it's really detailed and ornate and everything. Well, that was around for a few hundred years, and then once the turn of the era happened and a new civilization came and took over the land, or owned the land, or whatever. They actually wanted to fortify the walls more, and the gate was too big, too open of an entrance if you want to defend against attackers. It's hard to defend that.
I think that was the Islamic Empire, pretty sure. So the Islamic Empire ended up covering up Hadrian's Gates with like a brick wall.
Well, since then, people forgot about it. So the Islamic Empire, 700, 800 years ago, covered this gate with stone walls, and then then they forgot they did that, or you know, the people who did it died, and the following generations forgot that it ever happened, and so they just thought it was part of the wall. And then
in the 1960s, the walls started crumbling, and then they discovered like that Hadrian's Gates were there from the Roman Empire,
beautifully preserved
all those years ago. Yeah, and so like we've been walking through them almost every day. They're really beautiful. They've got all these little like small details from so long ago, so it's really interesting.
yeah, so
and
cool.
then after a few days in Antalya, we traveled to Cappadocia, where my family is currently still at right now. And Cappadocia was really amazing.
Breathtaking. So it's like super arid. It rarely gets rain. Very dry. Not a lot of trees. It's mostly grass and sandstone. And it's almost like the Turkish Grand Canyon, except not as big. But it does have, you know, canyons of sandstone that are sloping down. And the coolest thing about them is that for the past, I believe it was 8,000 years, civilizations have carved homes and cities into this sandstone, into the cliff sides and underground. And so what has ended up happening over the eras is that up to 3,000 underground sandstone cities have existed, or I forget, it's in the thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands of sandstone underground cities have been created within Turkey to basically keep yourselves cool and get out of the sun.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like natural air conditioning.
Yeah.
And I think all of the hills and mountains that have been made out of that stone are actually lava rock from volcanic eruptions, which is super cool. And so we ended up staying in one of those cave houses, which was insane.
So darn cool.
Yeah, like we got there and we were like so shocked by what the accommodation looked like. It was beautiful.
Yeah, the man who runs the Airbnb says that the particular caves that we were staying in were around 200 years old.
Yeah,
which
so
is
pretty
just
cool.
the coolest thing ever, that like 200 years ago someone carved that out of the cliffside and just started living in it or using it for something. And it's really interesting is because it's all sandstone, it erodes relatively easily. Like you can scratch the walls and leave marks where you scratch, like it'll crumble away from from just your fingers touching it. And so because it erodes so quickly, what ends up happening is over the years, these rooms that were carved into the cliffs end up getting exposed as erosion kind of carves away the cliffside. And so you're walking around town and you're seeing all these half rooms, like half cubes sticking out of the
Little
cliff sides
caves,
that have
yeah.
been abandoned because half of it wore away, but they're still like half intact. It's like a cross section. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
So interesting.
But yeah, and then the best part about Cappadocia, in my opinion, was the hot air balloon ride.
Magical.
So for the hot air balloon ride, we got up at like 3 o'clock, and we got picked up at 3:30
AM.
Yeah, a.m.
Super early.
And we had to drive for about an hour, and we got on this hot air balloon at sunrise, and with about, I think, 4,000 other passengers rode hot air balloons that morning. And so it was like hundreds of hot air balloons all up in the sky at the same time. So beautiful at sunrise.
Unforgettable.
And yeah, like you'd just look around and like you'd see all these hot air balloons and the sunrise and the landscape. It was so beautiful.
Magical.
It was magical for real, yeah.
Just like breathtaking, and to have all the other hot air balloons in the air with you, you know, and the wind was super mild, so you're all just gently floating over the valleys and the mountains. It was so
they
cool.
got really, like, the hot air balloon actually went into the valley. Like, we weren't sure if we would just go up and then stay up in the air for a bit and then come down, but it really, like, took a whole tour, like, went into the valleys, went over, like, the mountains. It was so cool.
Magical.
Yeah, we got a lot of videos of that.
Yeah, it's so fun. So, like, that's definitely one of the best things that we've done while we've been traveling this year. It's been incredible. Cappadocia is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, all of it. Highly recommend it. And I would say Turkey overall, I think, is my favorite country so far that we visited this year.
Although we say that every time.
But it's because it just keeps getting better and better. Like the way that Rylan did an amazing job of planning our trips it's been great, because just like, you know, everything is a step up, a step up, a step up. The food gets better, the people get better,
the food here is
the culture and the location gets better and better and better. It's so cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're back in Antalya now. We just got back on Monday and it's Wednesday now. And yeah, we've just been kind of taking it easy. Antalya we find is like kind of more of like a vacation town. Like it's kind of, but it's really nice. But we've been to the beach and it's
Antalya is great because it's got a lot of density. And so, unlike Montenegro, where everything is an hour walk away, here everything is about a 5-minute walk away. So, for example, today, got a haircut finally. My hair was looking real bushy and rough, and it was hard to take care of because it just curls up in all the wrong places. And so that's why it's kind of like all gelled up and funny looking right now, because they do this to everybody. But I'm glad I did, because I was starting to get a little bit like, it started feeling hot on my head, you know, so this is a lot better.
I'm glad I came to watch that haircut, because that was the haircut. Like, I was so jealous sitting there watching Nick at the barber. So they start off like with a regular haircut, and then you think he's all done, but then they bring out this lighter. It's basically like a cotton swab dipped in like some kind of alcohol,
like kerosene or something.
They like start swatting his ear with it.
They're burning off just the fine hairs on my ear with a flaming cotton swab and just beating me over the side of the head with it.
And then washing the hair was kind of funny too, because you had to go face down in the sink. It looked like they were waterboarding him. Yeah,
I felt like I was getting waterboarded a little bit, but it was really like they were massaging my head real nice, and they had nice soap.
You got pretty much a whole full upper body massage. Like, I was so jealous.
I was so surprised. I'm like, no way. Are they, like, at first I was thinking like, okay, like they charged me 350 lira, which is the equivalent of $14 for the haircut. Now, are they doing all this above and beyond stuff, hoping that'll like overcharging me, right? Like, I think I'm getting a 350 lira experience, but maybe they're gonna say it's 700 lira, which is like $28, because they're adding all this stuff. But no, that's the whole thing. That's like you pay 14 Canadian dollars and you get all of these things every time. And so it was great. I was like, okay, this is a good massage. Like, this is great. Twice the experience that you get at a regular hairdresser.
Easily,
Yeah, but Turkey is known for their haircuts. People go to Turkey for all sorts of hair-related things, not just haircuts, hair transplants as well. We've been joking about that because my hairline is not great, but
the Turkish haircut.
But they're all about hair here, and everyone in Turkey has a great haircut. All the men have kind of the same haircut, which is this one, but with more dense, thicker hair. But it's all really, you know, everyone's really well put together and everything because of how nice the experience is.
Yeah.
Getting haircuts. So that was really cool.
Yeah, the haircut was definitely an experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then maybe 20 minutes later, here we are. We're at the lookout here. You can't really see it because it's kind of cloudy today, but there's some mountains behind us.
And you can see some cliffs there. Fun fact about those cliffs is throughout history, they were actually hiding. You can see the caves inside them. And those caves were hiding spots for pirates. And pirates would raid ships that tried to come into the harbor, and which would be just like behind that tree there. And so as the ships are coming along like that, pirates would come out, raid them, take all their stuff. And that happened for hundreds of years, which is another cool fact. So I'm wondering, like, I don't think we'll be able to explore those caves because it's kind of in the water and all eroded and stuff. But it would be super neat going in there and finding like secret treasure, like pirate treasure with an X on it or something, you know?
Yeah, I
That'd be
wonder
sick.
if we'd find that.
Yeah, or some artifact of some sort, like an old musket. I'm sure that, you know, this is a big city and this is in the middle of downtown. I'm sure if anything like that ever was in there, it's already been taken. But it's just, you know, food for thought. But it's been a wonderful town. And another fun fact about Turkey that we learned, like, basically as soon as we got here, is that this country is secular, which means that government and religion are separated, but it is a majority Muslim country or Islamic country. And so that means that a lot of things are catered to that religion. For example, call to prayer. Call to prayer is when all the mosques in the area at the same time all have a loudspeaker and do a 5 to 10 minute song 6 times a day that you can hear ringing basically throughout the entire country because there's mosques everywhere. They're all like every couple blocks or so you're going to find a mosque. And they're all singing call to prayer 6 times a day at very specific times of the day. And according to the Muslim religion, as far as we understand, between each call to prayer, you have to find time to pray. You don't have to do it at the time of the call to prayer, but you have to do it before the next one sounds. But it's super interesting because we're walking through Istanbul, we're walking through Cappadocia, we're walking through Antalya, and then suddenly you hear the call to prayer. And it's like, that is so interesting. We don't have that in North America.
Yeah, it's definitely super cool. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, it's interesting to hear.
Yeah. And I know that, like, because growing up in North America, post 9/11, there's a lot of people who are like wary. It's like, ooh, majority Islamic country. Like, is that safe? Super chill.
Yeah.
You know, like they're super like welcoming and understanding. You're allowed to visit their mosques if you like. Just take off your shoes. It's beautiful inside, and the culture surrounding the religion is beautiful. But yeah, I think that's all we have for you today.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed our recap of what we've been doing since you guys haven't seen us last.
Yeah, we're gonna keep enjoying Turkey. We're going to keep sharing what we learned and all the cool things going on around here, all the cool experiences.
Yeah, I think we're going to go easy on the videos just while my parents are in town, just so we can just spend most of our time enjoying being all together.
Have time to bond, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But not bond too much, like in the Turkish bath.
Yeah, there's a line that needs to be drawn, I think.
Yeah.
And we found that line, and it's being naked in a sauna together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, at least. I don't know, maybe other cultures.
You weirdos.
But yeah, that's it for today.